Okay, greetings everyone. This is First Centurion 753 with the next episode of Geopolitical Simulator 4 Power and Revolution. And we're playing a Restoring the Ottoman Empire version. It looks like the Americans have a air base here, I just noticed, in Turkey. They are critical allies for the Turks as NATO partners. But if anyone's been keeping up with the conflict in Syria, one of the biggest problems, or the wedge that is dividing the United States and Turkey, is the United States' support of this group right here, the Kurds. And there's different factions of the Kurds in this game, as there are in reality. Syrian Kurdish Renaissance, there's the PPK and the YPK, I think, are two different factions. One of them operates in Turkey, in lower, here you go, Turkish Kurdish Renaissance, extreme left wing. They are left wing, almost communist, socialist type. In Turkey, they currently have 6 million sympathizers and 2,000 followers with a budget of 13.8 billion. Not much we can do against them. Again, I think I mentioned this last time, I hate dealing with the terrorist organizations in this version of the game. Just not a big fan. Infiltration really does nothing. There is a way to do it. Somebody had pointed out on one of my videos in the comments, but I really have to kind of make surveillance of a lot of these people. And to be honest, I can only surveil 14 people. That doesn't make any sense to me. Since I have like hundreds of intelligence operatives, that's something that needs to be corrected in the next version of the game. Hopefully, a 2019 add-on. But I'm just gonna go ahead, and you should be able to like take notes on these guys. I think, you know, like who's the leader. I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna place them all under surveillance, and there should also be a button that says place everybody under surveillance. That would make this a lot quicker and a lot less tedious. I don't even think it's happening here. I'm clicking on it. It's not happening. Here we go. 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 That's like a Bouncing Souls song or something like that from the 90s. Never mind. Nobody probably gets that reference. Been listening to 90s music again. Punk ska bands of the 90s. That's what I listened to when I was a kid. Mighty Mighty Bosstones, RX Bandits. You guys have probably never heard of any of them. Well, I guess there are some people my age who are in my demographic. Alright, that's it. I'm just gonna surveil everybody and see what happens. And I'll try to infiltrate as well. So, Turkish Kurdish Renaissance. I'm gonna try to shut them down. Also another thing about this game is how there's different groups. Like you have Turkish Kurdish Renaissance as a resistance group in Turkey. You have a rebel group, which is a faction in Syria, fighting against the Syrian government. And then there's another group here in Iraq, who I think are almost allied with the Iraqi government, or like kind of like puppet state status, colony-like status. I don't know what the status of these countries. These are all bases, military base, and they're all very similar. But there's really no way for them to coordinate in the game. And in reality, the reason why the Turkish government is so upset with the United States supporting these Turkish groups is because they can support the rebels in Turkey, but I don't think they can really do much. I guess they could. Well, maybe they could. I haven't played as a rebel leader in a long time. I think the first game I actually played, series I actually played, was a Kurdish Renaissance series. And I became a political party, but the problem was the parliament in Syria only had consultative power, and there was no real political power. But it does look like the Kurds have advanced across the I think that's the Euphrates. It's either the Tigris or the Euphrates. I think the Euphrates is the one that goes through Syria. Somebody can correct me there if I'm wrong. And so it looks like the Kurds, they've taken Aleppo. That's also something that is not relative towards what's going on in the current situation. And then the Afrin district, I think. The Afrin district is that Afrin? Northwestern Aleppo. This is Idlib, yeah. And these are areas the Turkish government have moved into. So, for my position, I don't really care. I don't think that moving or getting involved in the Syrian crisis in any way benefits me. I'm building a base nearby. So in case I do want to intervene, I can have some assets nearby, but I'm not that interested in intervening in this conflict. I would rather see them fight it out and, you know, rip each other apart, kind of. And I guess if the Kurds do end up taking over the entire state, then we can move against them as like almost like a liberator. The other faction who's not really involved in this is the Iranians. Well, the Russians too should be involved. I don't see any Russian bases. The Russians may have actually pulled out of Syria at this point. I do not see any Russian bases, and I think we have a good alliance with the Russians. Moderately good. But my focus, again, is more on Cyprus. And people have been asking me, when am I going to go to war? When am I going to go to war? Excuse me. Like I said, I've been sick and I don't have the cough button. Well, I think I could actually. Hold on. Okay, technically I have a cough button where I can mute it, but I didn't have editing abilities, so. We've begun building more installations. Look at this. What is that? Naval base. Doesn't say if there's anybody there. Air base? No, we don't have any intelligence on them. Military base. And then the British have a base. So, let's take a look at my forces here. 21,000 troops, 300 tanks, but they're only level 1 tanks. I'd rather have more advanced tanks. What else I'd like to have? Missile launchers. What do we have in this airbase? Commandos, helicopters, fighters. Fighters aren't as important because it's going to take them too long to move. Might as well deploy submarines 15 miles off the coast to keep this naval base in check. Anybody coming out of the naval base. Another air base to the north. Fighters, commandos, fighters, drones. Another air base here. I kind of want missile launchers. There's a military base. There's some missile launchers. Alright, let's... Whoa. I'm going to go ahead and move the entire missile launcher contingent. I'm going to reallocate them there. See if we can pull troops from further away. There's another base. I'm going to say let's move 100 more tanks. There. Kind of putting all my eggs in one basket. And I kind of would like more commandos as well. Send them to that airbase. Alright, so that is positioning more troops and assets in and around Syria. We're still waiting, not Syria, Cyprus. We're still waiting for some sort of intelligence report against the Cyprus government. She's pretty uncorrupt. Incorrupt? She's not corrupted. They have good growth. Maybe I should launch a cyber attack. I'm still waiting for... I want to get a reason to go to war with them. There's 8,000. I want to get UN approval. We get 21,000. I can go ahead and take. Let's do another 9,000-ish. Come on. Let's do 10,000. Another 10,000 troops to Cyprus. Alright, that should be everything. And those forces are going to start to move. In the meantime, let's look at our political situation. Or no, our economic situation, I'm sorry. We have cleared $1 trillion. You can watch those forces deploy if you want. That would be pretty cool, right? Deployment of more forces to Cyprus. And there's our submarine. Looks to be underwater. Right where we want it. Any other forces on the way? Yep, there's more assets on the way. Alright, so $1 trillion economy. Growth is about 5%. Inflation's around 4, a little over 4. I think the U.S. Federal Reserve Bank targets inflation for under 3%. Ah, yes, this is what we need.
Our governmental cell informs me that it has had the opportunity to approach this potential informer. According to my calculations, using transactional analysis, Chicago score naturally, the team has at most a 63.8% chance of making a strategic gain in its position by focusing on this target and only on this target.
I don't know if those numbers ever change. Let me know if you guys have ever seen those numbers change, or if that's just like a set thing. Population's at 82 million, which means our GDP per capita is at 12. Now, I want to take a look at what it was. We are 18th population in the world. We were 19th. Population has grown quicker, and we've surpassed Germany. So has Iran. Iran is a regional rival who we have to keep up with. More important than population, though, economy. And that would go for GDP. GDP, we are now 17th largest economy in the world, up from 18th. Surpassing the Netherlands. And that's it. Everyone seems to be growing. Indonesia is next. Indonesia is still over $200 billion more ahead of us with production. Argentina, rising star. Mexico, Australia, Spain's been there, I think. South Korea has been there. The Russians are at 10 with just over 2 trillion. Canadians are at 11. Italian economy is still holding strong, $2 trillion. $2 trillion. Brazil, United Kingdom, France. I think India has risen. If you look at the original numbers, yeah, India has surpassed England and France. So, do you think that will happen in real life is the question. There are a lot of theorists out there and predictions. Egyptian confidential information. I have proof that Egyptian government secretly finances Sudan fighters for democracy. We've got enough, I think we've probably got enough evidence against Egypt to go to war against them. But again, the issue is not going to war against Egypt. It is first taking over the Cyprus island as a whole. I might be able to just do it and just capture the capital. But that's risky, and it could cause an end to the series. So I'm not sure if I want to do that right away. Maybe just wait a little bit and hold that out. Although, it seems like the Warhawks on the channel are getting a little antsy. I had some posts saying, when am I going to go to war? When am I going to go to war? Like I said, I'm much more of a cautious player overall. Look at this stupid disaster. 344 dead. Terrorist attack in the Marmara region. That is horrible. An estimation, we don't know how much damage it's going to be, actually. That is such a horrible situation. What is going on budget-wise? Budget-wise, we have an excess of $46 billion. I don't remember what I spent money on last time, so I'm just going to play this out until the third quarter before I send in another stimulus package. Probably infrastructure, broadband infrastructure, maybe some roads, maybe some railroads, maybe some port facilities, I think. Education is also another thing I like. I'm a big proponent of education. I think education infrastructure are probably the best things for a government to spend its money on if it's looking for long-term growth. Because that will ultimately make things more efficient. At least that's my opinion. State budget has gone up $11 billion since I've been in office. Income has gone up $64 billion, so that accounts for this budget excess. And public debt cut pretty much in half. Hostage taken at the university. Come on, 82 hostages. Jeez. Let's go check our secret files here before we get to that. Secret Service. Infiltration. Launch Cyber Protection Program. I want to check on these guys. Check on the file here. It looks like a lot of them are gone. So we were just monitoring them now. What, do they all leave the country? Are they the ones responsible for this terrorist attack? Has anyone claimed credit? They are the ones responsible. Wow. Hey, like that. Give the order to attack. Let's take them out. We usually do better with that than anything else. Okay, let's go take a look at our files on foreign leaders. What is this? Service? That's the service industry, not the Secret Service. Secret Service is what I want. And exterior intelligence. Consult files on heads of state. We have everything on Armenia. We could start a war against Armenia, which could make some people happy, maybe. No, we don't have anything in Armenia. Syria, we do. I don't really want to go to war there. Let me check my agents. Manage my networks here. Armenia. Got 40 agents there. Add another 5. Cyprus. Let's crank this up to 50. Go to 60. Got enough agents in Cyprus. Political spying. We should be able to find something. And we'll need something on the Egyptians eventually. I think we have a little bit. Let's confirm that before anything else happens. Okay. Speed things up a little bit. Get through January. And I want to take a look at the economy a little bit. Your real
You've
friends in the
changed
world.
the deal on ecological issues.
Okay, good. I do want to take a look at the economy. Service sector. Okay. What do we have here? Service sector is 590. This is almost half our GDP. GDP of activity in the country is 57%, actually, yeah. So it's more than our GDP. It's 57% of our GDP. It used to be 59. I guess other areas are growing. But the GDP as a whole is growing here. And our exports have declined. Service exports have declined. That is a shame. Trade balance has gone down too. I don't really like that.
The hostage takers transmitted a press release. If their demands are not met, they will execute the hostages.
Okay.
The assault was a major success.
Huge.
Our intervention team showed considerable
Huge.
professionalism, and the terrorists were shot or captured.
No victims.
With the exception of some people with minor wounds, there were no casualties among the hostages.
Alright, well, we got those Kurdish rebels there. Armenia head of state. How's he looking? Moral character, horrible. No, we want to keep him in office. Do something bad, and then I'll be able to get you. Alright, so the Kurds, the Turkish Kurds, have been defeated for now. It's a setback at least. Where am I at? Secret Service. Let's check out how our file looks here. Monitoring. No one to arrest. So just hold ground for now. Hold ground for now. And let's get through January. We'll see if we can get through February and March. And check out, oh, look at Australia. We could help fund them. Once we get through those months, we'll see how much surplus we have and how much we've paid down, how much debt we've paid down. While this is going on, I do want to talk more about the channel a little bit. No, I don't want to eliminate Saudi Arabian head of state. Thinking about doing a Hearts of Iron series with the Great War mod. Ah, we did have this law.
The bill has been voted on and the law has been passed.
Extending our term as president. Let's check that out real quick. Elections. 2026. Alright, and we'll wait another year and then we'll try to extend it again. One thing we also could try to do is limit the power of Parliament, but I'm not sure if we'll be able to get away with that as easily. Determine powers of Parliament. Let's take a poll on that. People and Parliament, what do they think? Oh, they are for that. Votes. Alright, hold on. I want to see what this says here. Votes on laws and motions of no confidence against head of states. Votes on laws and motions of no confidence against government, but none against head of state. Let's confirm that, baby. Alright. Consolidating power. Erdogan. Just like Erdogan. Consolidate some power here. Israelis, no, we don't want to mess with them. They're kind of an ally.
Our governmental cell informs me.
Yes, we want to target Egypt. No, I don't want to kill that guy. No, I don't want to kill that guy. Alright. Political consolidation in Turkey. Making it more like an empire. Like the Ottoman Empire. Restoration of the Sultan. We'll see if we can pull that off. It looks good. Egypt is definitely an enemy. They're someone I'm going to want to take on after Cyprus. Let's look at my military situation here compared to Egypt. There was what was I missing? I think it was fighters. No, that's not what it was. We're gonna go into Egypt. Had more fighter jets than we did. Security. Fighter planes. Turks have 394. And yes, it says helicopters. That's glitch. 569. That is too much. Too much. Now, what deals have I made so far? Let's review our diplomacy. One thing I could do is, Iran information. Financing communist forces in India. I don't think the Iranians like communism. Economic deals. Once-off purchase with France. They're the only ones, huh? And it was 100 fighters. When was the date? September 19, 2019. Okay. Let's take a look, see who else produces fighter jets. And maybe we can find a better buyer. I'd like to have a domestic industry. World info. Production. Okay, France looks like they make the most. Tedious user interface. Alright, France makes... Maybe that's because of us. Maybe the order has caused them to make more fighter jets. 100 more fighter jets. Who's got the cheapest? Russians have pretty cheap fighter jets. We make a deal with them. China. UK's got the cheapest. Israel's got a few of them. I tried to make a deal with the UK. Let's run that up again. We should have good relations, yeah. We have good relations on the European continent here. The EU member states love us. Istanbul, an issue for the Ukrainians. Let's try again with the British. No catastrophes going on there. Meeting requests with them.
You are giving our country...
I'd like to get another 100 fighter jets. That would put us at 494. Still behind the Egyptians, but moving in the right direction. What is going on in the energy industry? Environmentalists say we are doing pretty well. So, do we have enough energy? Total production of energy versus total consumption. Total consumption of energy has gone up. And that will happen with growth of industry and GDP. For sure. What is going on with my industry? Has my industry grown? I hope it has. That was part of my intent. It has grown 2%. $55 billion. And our trade balance has increased 20 billion. Imports have gone up. Exports have gone up more. Alright, so that has grown. And then I assume agriculture has also grown too. Which is why the service industry lost grown. Agriculture has definitely grown. A lot. Well, not as much as GDP activity. Looked like a lot there. 9 billion. That is not much. Active population. Active population has actually gone down. Exports has gone down. Imports have gone up. Trade balance has decreased. Yeah. So industry has made some moves. While farming and services sector, everyone's growing in general, so it's not bad. Ah, damn it. That's not good. Start building a pipeline. They also said there was natural gas deposits in Cyprus too. Back to the energy. Alright, most of our power comes from fossil fuel. We got a good amount from hydroelectric. Biomass doesn't do much. Geothermal doesn't do much. Offshore wind doesn't do much at all either. No solar. 2 oil wells. Okay. Okay, but like I was saying, I do want to give some channel updates here. I'm thinking about doing a Hearts of Iron series with the Great War mod. Maybe playing as Germany. I always wanted to do sort of like a what would Otto von Bismarck have done scenario where I play as, I think I read over the summer, I think I mentioned this several times in other videos, but I read the book Guns of August by Barbara Tuchman. Yeah, Barbara Tuchman. And they talk a lot about like how Bismarck had
The bill has
warned.
been voted on and the law has been passed.
Beautiful. Consolidation power. Bismarck, the German Chancellor, had warned the Kaiser about several things and warned that the next conflict would start in the Balkans, and don't attack Belgium, don't go for too much at once, more of a piecemeal type of thing. So if I do play that series, it'll be probably more of a conservative, less aggressive approach for Hearts of Iron. Just warning. But if anyone has any other ideas for Great War mod series, somebody wanted me to do Serbia. That would be interesting. There is a Balkan League option, I think I mentioned in one of the videos. Alright, let's see here.
No
Theresa
thanks.
May. You want to be
I hope you didn't make me come here to hear you discussing your favorite holiday resorts.
You do not want a hard Brexit. Come on, let's negotiate here. Alright. Purchase. Not like I'm even in the EU. I want 100. 100 fighter jets. For $41. $41 million each. Let's try. I didn't give a lot of room there, did I? 45 million. Let's try 50 million. 72. 54 million. Too many negotiations. That sucks. Hold on. Let me try a alliance negotiation here. They accept that. Maybe that'll schmooze them over a little bit. Give them access, which we need to do anyways if we're going to be conquering Cyprus, because they're going to have an issue with us if we conquer Cyprus and they lose their base. Now, let's see if I can smooth you over there a little bit on the purchase. Fighter plans. 38. Oh, that's too many. $41. $46. Come on. Still a little congested here. I was sick last week. Alright. Try one more time. Maybe they don't want to sell so many fighters. Let's do 50. Good lord. It's gotta be 38. It's gonna have to be 38 as a starting point. $84. Going up to 46. That's not better. $50. 58. Man. Tough negotiating with these Brits. Alright, let's see if that deal just helps us a little bit by improving the alliance first. And then maybe we'll try to come back to them again. It's been 33 minutes here. Thank you for watching. Our information systems and networks have been secure. They are now running under the protection of a firewall. Your protection level is silver. Like in the Olympic Games, the shinier your medal, the more you're protected. Okay. Thank you for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed. Ooh, yeah.
Our governmental...
Alright, good. That's it. I'm ending now. Okay. Like I said, thanks for watching. Please like the video if you did, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already and you'd like to see more. You can back me on Patreon down in the link below if you want to support. Also, Patreons have a priority as far as new series, and I think in 2019 we're going to have a new GPS 4 series because the 2019 add-on erased my Ottoman game here, which we should probably start getting more aggressive soon. But I will definitely be taking recommendations for a new series, probably February-ish, I think, a new series. I could probably get through Christmas break in January with this and see how far I can go as far as conquest. It'd be great if I can get on the Security Council as Turkey. That might be something I might want to consider. Anyways, feel free to leave the comments down below. Let me know what you think about GPS 4, new series. Gonna be looking for some soon. Also, series for Hearts of Iron 4 with the Great War mod in World War I. Lots of fun there. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.